Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Genesis Hope. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Genesis Hope, and we have the executive director herself, Jeannine Hatcher. Good morning, Jeannine.
Good morning, Marsha.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, today I have to ask you, some of us may not know about Genesis Hope. I do, so I want you to fill us in about your role and information about Genesis Hope.
Genesis Hope is a youth development organization. Our focus is primarily on health, and we've been in existence for the last 9 years. And I myself was one of the original founders of Genesis Hope.
Okay. Now, being the founder, what made you develop or become partnership to develop Genesis Hope?
Well, in 2005, I was diagnosed with lupus, and I am convinced that it is a food-related disease. And so we started the Young Sprouts, is the name of our youth program, to kill two birds with one stone. One, to help young people have a better understanding of the relationship between food and their health, as well as to introduce them to the food industry.
Okay. So when you're saying that you believe that the food has an impact on their health based on certain health conditions such as lupus, did you have education yourself to prepare the young folks to understand that some diseases are brought on by foods?
Yes. After I was diagnosed with lupus, I spent a lot of time researching, trying to find out ways to be able to live with my disease. Mm-hmm. And I discovered that the better that I eat, the better I felt. And again, doing more research, I discovered that African Americans in particular do not eat enough fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
And our diets are out of balance. And with our diets being out of balance, that creates an out of balance in our bodies. Okay. And so through our program, young people get to learn how to grow the food. They learn how to cook the food, and they get a chance to not only eat the food, but they also get a chance to sell the food and make a little money.
Okay. Now, what is the age criteria for this program?
So our youth are anywhere from 14 to 18, and we also have 18 to 24-year-olds who act as program coordinators in our program.
Okay. So within the 9 years, have you been involved all 9 years?
Yes.
Okay, so what are some of the things that the children or the young people will say actually grow?
Collard greens, tomatoes, herbs, kale, bok choy, all kinds of vegetables.
No, it sounds like a little Eastern market to me, but okay.
Well, it is, and the young people actually operate a farmer's market. It's called the Island View Farmer's Market, and Eastern Market Farm Stand is our staple vendor.
Okay.
And so at our farmer's market, we have had up to 20 to 25 vendors at a time at our farmer's market, and that's anything from fruits and vegetables as well as all kinds of artisans and arts and crafts and things that local businesses have to offer. So it's a well-rounded marketplace, and the young people get an opportunity to learn about being an entrepreneur, and they get a chance to actually practice what they learn by running the farmer's market.
Now, is it an all-year-round program? Because I know here in Michigan, we don't have, I shouldn't say we don't have, but we probably are limited on our spaces during our winter seasons and everything, unless you have what they call, what are those, greenhouses or something? So what are the children doing? I mean, what season or what time of the year do you normally notice that the kids are going to be involved in development?
So our program is year-round, but we don't grow food year-round, and we don't sell food year-round. In the off-season, because we do not have any type of hoop houses or greenhouses or anything of that nature to extend the growing season. That in our off season, our young people is when they're doing their business planning and they're coming up with their plan for the following season. And by that I mean, for example, they may come up with an idea to create a sauce or something for the following season that they would make and sell at the farmers market.
A sauce?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So we've done salsas and a barbecue sauce.
So are the children pretty much excited when they get into this, or actually I want to know is how is your recruitment measures to get the kids involved?
Well, it's a partially paid internship. So I think the money is what attracts the youth, more so than wanting to learn about owning their own business. But that's not the case for all youth. Some youth come into the program with that aspiration already of owning their own business, and they gain the skills that they need that they can write their own business plan and begin to launch whatever their dreams may be.
Okay. All right. So in the interim that they start off is between 14 and 18. When they get past 18, are they automatically what they call, what did you say that the older ones are?
They can become program coordinators,
okay.
and yes, we have had youth that transition along or return each year and have become program coordinators. So yes.
Okay. So within the 9 years, how many students would you say you have?
Over the 9 years, we've had over 700 youth that have come through our program.
Okay. All right. So every year you have this program that comes along and it encourages young people to get involved with learning nutritional value.
Yes.
Okay. And so do you go to the school systems to help in the Board of Education to become knowledgeable in nutrition, or how does one get involved?
Pardon me. We recruit in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Young people, and then young people just kind of tell other young people.
Okay.
And we are also on social media. We are not in the schools directly with our Young Sprouts program. We have worked before in the school system with our Green Corps, and those young people learn about food, land, ozone, water, and waste. And actually the waste education is folks can attend to a workshop that the young people will put on, and then they will get the free recycling bin for those who live in the city of Detroit.
Okay. I'm sure that's got to be exciting for young people to be involved in, especially when they see that they actually are hands-on in something growing, and then they can turn around and prepare it for a family meal. So that's got to be pretty much exciting for kids.
Yes, and you'd be surprised. Like I said, we have a cooking program. It's called Let's Cook. And some of the fruits and vegetables and things that we try, they've never had before. And so sometimes it's hilarious kind of watching them look at some food that they may not have seen before and then trying it for the first time. And then to their surprise, it's tasting very good.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's
so what
it's
nice is there any responses from their parents or family members when they, come home and say, guess what I grew today?
Yes, and some of that is our biggest challenge with helping young people make better lifestyle choices is the parents. And so trying to get the parents involved is key to actually making a change in their eating behavior over the long haul.
Because you might have the young person who says, I don't want to eat pizza anymore, I don't want fried chicken anymore, and that's what's at home, and the parents are saying, well, you may not eat this, but we're going to eat this.
Yes.
So then the young person is probably educated enough to know how to prepare something for themselves.
In some instances, and that's also why we focus on high school children, because they are at that point where they'll soon be making their own decisions. So if we can give them an opportunity to understand the connection between food and your health, we can change a life, really.
Okay.
By helping
whether it's
them
1 or
change
100, we can change a life.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, Jeannine, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back with some more good information about Genesis Hope. We'll be right back.
Mark! Anna! Ooh. Hey, lunch.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you.
Over 1 million Americans at risk of foreclosure have been helped by making home affordable. Find out now what your options are.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. For those of you who are just not joining us, we have Jeannine Hatcher, Executive Director of Genesis Hope. Now, Jeannine has enlightened us with some information about young people being involved in nutritional programs. So now we need to find out if you have one that wants to be involved in a nutritional program. So, Jeannine, how does a young person actually become involved? I mean, so like we have a young girl, 14-year-old girl, hey, it's almost summertime, nothing to do, but she has an interest in wanting to learn something about nutrition. Where does she go and how does she get started?
You can go to our website, which is www.genesishope.org. You will find an application there, and our telephone number is 313-571-0937. That number again is 313-571-0937. After you contact us, we'll contact you back. We have an application that you must complete, and once the application is completed, the first step is we have orientation, and to begin with our program, we have health and nutrition education. We partner with Michigan State University Extension Program. They come in and they teach the health and nutrition and the parts of the cooking as well as parts of the gardening class.
Okay.
The reason for the gardening, starting with the gardening, is so that they can learn about the plants. And so there's a little bit of science there that they are learning that they don't realize that they are learning. That is the beginning to really understanding your health and nutrition, is learning about how you feed a plant is kind of similar to how you would need to feed yourself.
Wow, okay. So really they don't just jump right in it. They have to go through, is it like a week or two training for them to be prepared?
It's combined. So you have classroom training in the morning and then you go out in the garden in the afternoon, or vice versa.
Okay, okay. Now how does the parents become involved, or do the parents become involved?
We invite the parents to a couple of events. One is every Wednesday at the farmer's market. We invite the parents to come and purchase the fruits and vegetables that hopefully their children grew, and or any one of our other vendors at the market. We also have a mid-program for the youth to showcase to their parents. The closing ceremony is the big ceremony for the parents to participate, and that's where the youth get an opportunity to showcase their capstone project, which is their business plan. And so they pitch it to not only their parents, but bankers and other funders, and potentially have the opportunity to have their idea funded.
Okay. So why do you think that more education is needed in nutrition? I mean, is there something about nutrition that just eggs you on to say, well, first of all, you said early on, because of your own health challenges, you started to research and learn to eat better. Is that one of the best reasons, or not the best reason, is that the reason that got you started to educate young people, so that if there's these challenges should come on, they would be prepared to know that if it is or isn't food products that's, you know, ailing their health?
Yes, and it's more of a prevention. Within the African American population, diabetes, which is a food-related disease, lupus, along with a lot of the other autoimmune diseases, and the list goes on and on, heart disease. These things are prevalent because of the way that we eat. And so it's very important to me to help young people be able to make better choices. When I grew up, I ate what I wanted, I ate what I liked, and did not have a clue of the connection that the food had to my health. And so I just want to make sure that young people are made aware. And at the same time, through our market, if you do have these health challenges now, how can you really fix that with your diet?
Okay, okay. That's good because a lot of young people just don't know. I mean, we have the high volume of fast food chains in Michigan. Fast food is like number one. So why cook when you can have pizza, or why cook when you can have a sandwich ordered quickly? You know, and so anything that they can consume faster and within a matter of minutes, not prepared by their own hands, really is not always working for you. It's working against you.
Absolutely. In Michigan, we're the 10th highest obesity rate in the United States. And for African Americans, the obesity rate is 37% here in Michigan. And that's alarming numbers, because that's the first indicator of other health challenges if you continue on that path.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, and then for me, I always wondered, why did the school system take out home ec? I'm still on that. Okay, I look at like home ec, and I know I'm aging myself, but anyhow, home ec was one of those programs that you may not like it when you got there, but before you leave there, you learn to appreciate it. You know, so it's not so much about we had sewing, and then we had baking, and just going in a classroom that had stoves, you know, and tables and everything. The generation now, I don't think that the young mothers are truly equipped to know that you can save more money by going in the kitchen and preparing the meal yourself, even if it's something that you just make up and don't know if it's going to taste right, but you tried it, okay? And your children only eat what you give them, so why not learn how to make a meal, even if it's just a vegetable skillet meal?
That's why we have cooking demonstrations at our farmers market, and with our young people, they have the Let's Cook class. So during the summer, they will have had 12 cooking classes, and where during those classes they will have made about 2 to 3 different dishes during each class, so that they get an opportunity, and they really do enjoy working in the kitchen. For some of them, it's the first time that they've chopped something.
Yeah,
for
I was going to
example.
ask you about that. You know, chopping, using the stove. You know, I have a 14-year-old nephew, and when he comes to visit, you know, he wants certain things for breakfast, and I said, okay, let's go in the kitchen. And he's like, oh. So my whole idea to show him in the kitchen is how to handle the stove, okay, and hold the handle of the pan that you're cooking in instead of just letting it go all over the place, you know. Turn the fire down low. And a lot of people don't think that children are unprepared for that. But you send a kid in the kitchen and say, well, boil you a hot dog, they just turn the fire on, you know, and walk out the kitchen. You didn't tell them how long, you didn't tell them how to watch the water or anything. You just sent them in the kitchen, made something, and came on out. Now your house is burned down. So, but I'm saying we need to instill back in the school system home ec.
I agree.
Okay, so Board of Education, you guys are next. But anyhow, so I'm enlightened by your program because I can understand that you're saying that it gives young people a chance to develop and create something nutritional and use their products at home, as well as make a selling point to the vendors who come. Okay, or the public who come to the vendors market. So when the people come, is it exciting for the kids when they first sell something, or like they can't believe that somebody's buying their tomatoes or peppers and stuff?
Oh yes, and that's part of the training, the customer service training. Whether they want to be excited or not, they have to get up and be excited.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Marsh.
Mental health disorders are serious and treatable conditions. Isolation, loneliness, and changes in behavior could be signs that someone you know is suffering from depression. Learn how to recognize when family or friends are in crisis and what you can do to help. Mental health does matter. Contact the Resource and Crisis Helpline with your concerns at 1-800-231-1127.
Until all our daughters are safe. Until all our children have families. Until all our families have homes. Until all our parents are cared for. We'll be here.
legacy. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life.
And welcome back to the last half of the show. For ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but you know I always tell you every time you tune in, you can always email me, call me, hashtag all that good stuff at the bottom of the screen. Just As Talk Show, 1-800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336. Twitter, hashtag Marsha, all that good stuff. Because why? You're nosy. You want to know what I know? So then why don't you just contact me and ask me? If you have questions for our guests, such as Jeannine Hatcher of Genesis Hope, why don't you just email me and I'll pass it on to her, okay? Because some of you have young people at home that you want to have involved in some type of programs for the summer or for the school year and everything. Genesis Hope. Okay, okay. Now, Jeannine, I say that because some of our viewers who are at home trying to figure out for their young persons at home, what should they do, okay? And a program like Genesis Hope sounds like one of the best programs to be involved in, especially during the fall, the summer and fall season.
Summer and the summer extension program.
Summer and summer extension. So who are some of your partners? Because I know if you're saying that, you know, you guys are growing things, you get your seeds, you got your ground, you got your dirt. Who are some of your partners?
Keep Growing Detroit and their Garden Resource Program is one of our key partners for the gardening. Michigan State University Extension is a key partner for our curriculum and our evaluations. Michigan Fitness Foundation has been one of our funders for our SNAP education.
Okay.
And this year I'm really excited that we're partnering with Mac Alive, and they have a Buddies in Business program that we are combining with our Young Sprouts program, and I'm really, really excited. So we will have 100 young people this year.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty good there. Okay, so these partnerships have cultivated where you guys come together, bring the products and stuff to alignment for the young people to use.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good, good. Now, do you accept volunteers?
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, then you got to give us the phone number, okay?
Yes, 313-571-0937.
Okay, and website?
GenesisHope.org.
Okay, now those of you who are paying attention, you know you got somebody at home that wants to be involved in. Why don't you check out Genesis Hope and give them a call and definitely tell them you saw them on Just As Talk Show. Okay, so we have a lot of young people that's saying, I want to do something and I don't know what to do. But you can create a chef from this kind of experience.
Chefs, business administration. We have young people that process the payroll and all of the invoices and receipts and things of that nature. So accounting. We have a media and marketing team. They are responsible for taking photographs and videos of everything that we do, publicizing that on all of our social media sites, so the young people get to learn how to use social media for business purposes, and what career opportunities there are for doing just that. We also have the cooking team that are learning how to cook, and they learn about those careers in that industry as well. So they get there's quite a bit that they can choose from.
Okay. So overall, the students can come in and some of them say, well, I don't want to cook, but they have to learn something in the cooking field, and yet they can still go to another division of it. So like you said, marketing.
So they all will participate in the cooking class, but they still each have their team that they are responsible for making the business run.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now do you think we should write to Chef Ramsay or somebody and let them know, we got our own good people right here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have to consider doing that, okay? I mean, because really, when you give young people an opportunity to learn something, and I was going to tell you, my dad had a farm, and I used to go to Alabama every year when I only learned things from what he did, watch a potato grow out the ground. I'm like, he looked at me like, okay. So when he realized I didn't know stuff, he would take me through the field and show me things, from the corn on the cornfield, the potatoes, the cabbage, the greens, the watermelons, and we don't have that here in Michigan, but it's not to say that you can't go up north and see the same thing, or better yet, like you guys are doing, help cultivating the land and doing it yourselves. So one more quick question. Where do you get your areas that the young people can go to and cultivated?
Anyone that lives in the city of Detroit and is between the ages of 14 and 18 can participate in our program. We're located on the east side of Detroit, and children from that part of town do get first preference, if you will,
Okay.
as well as our returning interns.
Okay, so it's a 12-week program.
12-week summer program
Okay.
and summer extension program.
Okay, so what happens when the 12 weeks are up?
There is a time where the young people have a break,
Okay.
and that's from October till December. And then in January, the returning interns return, and they begin planning for the upcoming summer season.
Okay, now do you guys have a selective amount of vegetables that you choose to grow?
The young people plan that during January until like about April, May, depending upon our weather,
Okay.
when we'll begin to plant our garden. So they make the garden plan.
Okay, that's good. Okay, because some people might think, oh, they're just doing peppers, they're just doing tomatoes. But you're saying they have the option to grow?
And the way they do it is we take a look at what sold, not only at our farm stand from the prior year, but we also have a record of what, like Eastern Market is our staple vendor at the farmers market.
Okay.
We have an opportunity to look at that data and then make decisions on what we like to grow based upon what sold the best.
That's good. That's good. That in itself should allow someone to say, I want to get my kids involved, because it's not, just cut and dry. It's actually got a time frame and variations for what you're trying to accomplish.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I'm all for, like I said, home ec getting recreated back into the school system, implemented back into the school system, and you guys' program is one of those programs that would definitely shine to allow the school system to consider putting it back in. When young people say, hey, this summer this is what I did. I was growing my vegetables and working with a department that helped me decide if I want to be in marketing, if I want to be in sales, if I want to be a grower or a buyer. Do you guys do anything with any of the markets, like supermarkets? Can you go into any of the supermarkets?
Our produce is sold at Eastern Market through the Grown in Detroit Collaborative, as well as our own farmers market, but we do not go into the grocery stores.
Okay. So I got to come, okay? Now, I'm going to tell people, I've been before, so don't think I don't know. But and I enjoyed myself, so this year I'm going to have to come back out and check out some of the produce and make a purchase, okay? And cheer these young people on, because it's just enjoyable.
And we'd love to have you.
Okay. Well, Jeannine, I hope you come back and see us again.
Thank you.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. A lot of times, like I said before, you're at home trying to figure out what should your young people be doing. Definitely go to the website of Genesis Hope or call Jeannine Hatchard yourself at her phone number and find out more about the services. You can always go to our website and get the information as well, and we'll forward any questions you have to our guests in the past or as our present guests come as well. I'm your host, Marcia Florence, for Just Ask. And what do I always say? If you know a person with a disability or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.